Hello everybody, and welcome back to the wonderful world of Space Engine. Yeah, just gonna get right into it, shall we? Now, I may have to bugger off somewhere halfway through this video, because I have something in the oven I'm gonna have to go grab, because I'm one of those weird people that cooks at, 3:20 in the morning? Ah, I was actually asked to go back here and look at the planet, ugh, from I guess the ground. Kind of like what would it look like if it had ground and a civilization that lived on this planet. Ooh, okay. Damn, those rings. God damn it. It's a very thick, well, it's a gas giant, so it has very thick clouds. So on the ground, quote unquote ground, you can still see those rings. Let's go to a higher latitude, where the rings will be more predominant, more noticeable. Let's try the northern hemisphere. Dude, that's kind of cool. But again, it's a gas giant, it doesn't actually have a surface. And then we leave. Haha! It's such a cool planet. I'm really glad I went here. I absolutely love it. Let's see here. It has been a minute, and I've already prattled on about absolutely nothing. So, up next, somebody asked me to go to the smallest known galaxy. So I looked it up, because I don't know everything. I wish I did, but I don't. Actually, could you imagine, if you actually did know everything? Like, absolutely everything? That would suck. It's a recently discovered galaxy, so I don't know if it actually, is in the game yet. There's something crawling on my arm. That was a fruit fly. God, there's like 3 of them buzzing around all night. It's been really annoying. Huh, I can't seem to find it. But it's a dwarf galaxy with a supermassive black hole. However, I do know of some dwarf galaxies around the Milky Way, because we actually have quite a few satellite galaxies. They're just little globulars. Well, this one, for example. It's itty bitty. Then we have the large and small Magellanic Clouds, of course. I absolutely love them. Can only be seen from the southern hemisphere, which is really disappointing because I want to observe them, but I'm in the northern hemisphere. Let's just, oh, okay. Let's explore here for life. I think I did it in a video a long time ago, but I'm doing it again. Well, actually, I want to go to Jupiter at one point and talk about Juno, because that's exciting. I was actually watching the live stream when it happened. Lots of fun. I always love watching space or live streams for mission controls when things are going down, because just the energy in the room is always so cool. It's like I watched. Well, actually, see, you're going all the way back. Oh, here we go. I remember watching Pathfinder kind of a long time ago. I don't remember much about it though. I wasn't incredibly lucid. Well, I was kind of young. I also remember watching one of the rovers, Spirit of Opportunity. I forget which one, but I remember watching one of them anyways. But beyond that, I didn't watch. Actually, no. I did watch Phoenix, the Phoenix Plural Lander on Mars. That one was fun. I was watching a Daily Planet special while it was happening. Let's see here. One with life info. It's abiogenic, so it's subglacier too. So it's local. But yeah, the Phoenix Lander was great. I didn't watch the Mars Plural Lander, but it was a failure. Look at that. I watched the first test that was supposed to be of the Project Constellation Ares rocket. That was fun, but then they canceled the project and it was a waste of time. Go figure. I watched the first flight of the Orion capsule. Ugh. I watched the Philae lander landing on the comet. I watched Curiosity, obviously. That was fun. What happened recently? Oh, right, and I've also watched a whole bunch of SpaceX launch attempts and landing attempts. Like, whenever there's a live stream, I was watching. Oh, I also watched the inflation of the beam module on the space station. That took 2 days. Well, 2 days altogether. I watched it for the first time they tried, and they had to cancel it until like Monday or whatever. It was a few days after that, and I watched it again, and it was fun. I was awake quite late for that. It's like, I don't know, I love these things. I've watched a couple Soyuz launches too, but not recently. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I know. I love watching live streams. So one of these has, well, it's gonna be this one, the green one, obviously. I'm learning how to use this game or simulation. It's not really a game now, is it? It's more of a simulation. Alright, planet info. It's abiogenic and it's marine and it's organic. Lovely. And it has a single moon. What a picturesque place. My goodness. Wow, there's a lot of, Am I hitting a glacier? Oh, I was hitting a glacier. I was trying to land on the water. And now I'm under the water. There we go. Look how serene and tranquil this is. Look at that pretty moon. This game is just so damn pretty. Like, holy hell. Alright, let's fly to the moon. I want to fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. I want to see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. I love that song. But I'll do spoken word, you know, like William Shatner. I'm Slim Shady. No. How do you do a spoken word version of a rap song? God damn it. I love William Shatner. He's funny because, like, he's kind of very self-absorbed, but he also makes, like, he knows that he's a joke and he'll make fun of himself at any opportunity. Right, I was gonna go to Jupiter, wasn't I? Go away. Jupiter. Jupiter 11. No, that's not. There we go, that's Jupiter. Go. Thwump. Look at that. Jupiter's pretty. Yeah, the Juno spacecraft, it made it into orbit of Jupiter, which is the first time a spacecraft has orbited Jupiter since the Galileo probe back in the 90s. And, well, it got there in early or late 90s, but was there, and then decommissioned sometime in the early 2000s. I forget. Anyways, yes, it came into orbit, kind of a polar orbit, and flew in really close over the North Pole, and then down around, and then it goes out on a big elliptical orbit, and then it comes flying right back in really close. Yeah, it was wonderful. It's actually quite disappointing in one sense because the probe goes through the thickest part of the radiation belt every orbit, and of course Jupiter's radiation belts are dreadful. What's that? Because Jupiter's radiation belts are dreadfully powerful, and they cause severe damage to electronics, mind you. Like, yeah. So a number of the instruments actually have lifespans. Some of them are only made to last for a few days. Some are made to last for the entirety of the mission. But every time it goes through the radiation belt, some damage happens. What is that? Well, we're gonna go there, because it's a glitch of some kind. Huh. Well, yeah, okay, that was a waste of my time. Let's go back to Jupiter. And then, of course, in 2018, when Juno's mission's up, it's going to deorbit itself and crash into Jupiter's atmosphere and burn up. and it'll be lovely. Actually, all spacecraft, I think I've mentioned this before, but all spacecraft that orbit the gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn, um, at the end of their mission lifespan, they absolutely have to be crashed into the planet's atmosphere. They can't be left to just orbit around in the system, because if there's any if there's any contamination on the spacecraft, they don't want it accidentally getting onto one of the ice moons, because that would just be dreadful. So for Pluto or on Jupiter, Europa is obviously the biggest player in this category. That bloom is very bright. Oh, screw it. And with Saturn, the biggest ones are like Titan and Enceladus, but still, Ganymede may also actually have oceans too and stuff, so they have to be very, very careful about what is and is not allowed to remain in orbit of the gas giants, because one collision with an ice moon could contaminate with Earth bacteria, and nobody wants that. I should say with Mars, things that land have very high, like, sterility. Like they have to be a certain cleanliness level, and those that stay in orbit have to, could be less clean, but there's a certain extent, like they have to be a certain level of clean in case they crash. Kind of like what happened with the Mars Climate Orbiter. It was supposed to get into orbit, but it just, well, somebody forgot to convert imperial measurement to metric, so during the burn, instead of going into orbit, it just plowed into the atmosphere of Mars and burned up and crashed. And now NASA only uses metric, because since everyone else uses metric, they figure why not? That's Jupiter again. That would be Earth, our lovely planet that I love. That would be Saturn. Let's go there. I love Saturn. I love Titan. It's like the best moon. Riha. Titan is right there. Yeah, it's so great. I want them to like go back to Titan. Like, god damn it, we need to go back to Titan. Anyways, let's carry on in our quest for the answers of the universe. Yeah, nebulas. Oh, it's the Horsehead Nebula. You can tell by the horsehead shape. Awfully bright in here. Damn. Actually, I wonder if there's any pulsars. Just name some pulsars. Let's see if I can get the type to say pulsar. Planet, galaxy, asteroid. Let's go back into the P section. I don't think this is alphabetical. I'm just going on a limb here. I don't know the name of any pulsars. Not offhand, anyways. Wait. No. Actually, I'm gonna check my oven, and I'm gonna look at pulsars. I'll be right back. Right then, I got my food, and I found some pulsar names. Actually, I remember the first one was called LGM1, which was short for Little Green Men 1. Let's see if they have it. No? Aww. Yeah, because like when they first found it, it had the... Well, they didn't know what it was. It was the a regular radio source. So their first thought was, could this be extraterrestrial, like life forms communicating? So like that was actually like the first kind of thought. But then they found out that no, actually it wasn't. It was a rapidly spinning neutron star. Oh Jesus! 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can find some more. Right. Let's try the actual name of the pulsar currently. CP1919. No. CPD1919. Let's go there out of curiosity. Okay, it's not what I'm looking for. Unless... No, it's the white dwarf. A very, very, very bright white dwarf, mind you. Holy hell. Alright, let's try a different one. Let's try the Vela Pulsar. Ah, there we go. Yay! Well, that's certainly a pulsar. Can I slow down time? We'll do that. What's time scale looking like? Make it very, very slow. Yeah, I guess it would act kind of like a black hole, but with slightly lower gravity. And no dark center. Because pulsars actually do radiate radiation and light. But again, they have really, really strong gravity, so there would be a lot of lensing around them. It's actually really cool. I love it. But yeah, actually, pulsars are really cool. Because like they're neutron stars that have a really high rate of spin. My favorite astronomical object has to be magnetars, which are neutron stars. There you go. My brain's not working right now. Are neutron stars that have incredibly high magnetic fields, and actually, an earthquake on a magnetar can create such a massive disruption of like gravitational and magnetic and radiation that it can actually affect things that are like thousands of light years away from it. They actually were able to detect a magnet it was a star quake on a magnetar a little while ago, and they suspect that only like the area where it had the quake probably only moved like up maybe 6 inches or something like that off the surface, but that was enough to create a gravity like gravity or some kind of wave that was detectable here on Earth, and actually affected the climate a little bit. It's really cool. Actually, they're also so strong that if you some of them like if you get within like a few thousand kilometers of a magnetar, the magnetic field will actually distort the atoms in your proteins and cause you to die because, well, your body can no longer chemically function. It'll even like distort your DNA and just make you just die. It's scary. But no, pulsars are cool because well, I'm waiting for a pattern to show up so I can make my suit some more. But currently there's a post office strike because the postal workers do this every year here in Canada for whatever reason. So I figure as I'm waiting for that to show up, I started doing another project. I'm building a radio telescope, a simple one, mind you. It can only scan. Well, theoretically, it'll only be able to scan between 80 and 1800 megahertz, and I'm also going to get a receiver that can scan within that range. Originally, I wanted to do a receiver that could scan like Jupiter radio noise and Saturn radio noise in the sun, but those are down in like between 5 and 20 megahertz, and the antenna size for that is really, really big because it's like a dipole antenna. The antenna needs to be the size of the wavelength of the radio waves. So to detect low frequencies, you need really big antennas, and I can't do that right now. I don't want to right now. Anyways, let's look up other pulsars. Damn. Let's go there. But the one I am building theoretically should be able to detect some things. This is what? Neutron star. It is very, very bright. I turn down exposure. Let's get a good look at it. But yeah, it should be able to theoretically detect galactic radio sources. Theoretically, it could detect some sun activity. Oh, look at that. There is gravity lensing around. Oh. What have I done? Where am I? Oh, I'm like on the surface of the pulsar. Or neutron star. But one thing I'm looking for is I wanted to see if I can do pulsar detection. it's really tricky to do it with amateur telescopes. It is possible. I've looked it up. It actually is possible, but it requires a lot of patience and depending on what pulsar you're looking at, a lot of equipment. Again, like I'm getting the transmitter I'm getting is actually a USB um, like receiver because I cannot afford to buy like a ham radio type setup. But it can scan between I think it's like 60 and 1800 megahertz. So I'm gonna get that. The antenna I'm building myself. It's gonna be fairly. It's gonna be of a fair size, but still like directional. It's gonna be a periodic dipole long antenna, and I'll have to wait and see. I'm probably gonna get extra equipment as I go along. Like maybe like I want to get a preamp to put between the antenna and the receiver, because the preamp basically takes very small signals and amplifies them, so they're more detectable. But we'll see. Theoretically, I should be able like the more aggressive ones, I should say. I should be able to detect them in some way, but it'll require a lot of tuning and a lot of patience. So we'll see. Anyways, that is 21 minutes, so I'm gonna go now. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah.